Welcome, my brothers and sisters, to the Law of One Meditation Study Group. I am Robert. It is my pleasure to share with you conscious channeling of L Research. We are the principle known to you as the QO. Greetings in the love and in the light of the one infinite Creator, in whose service we come to you this evening. It is a profound privilege and pleasure to be called to this circle of seeking, and we express gratitude and thankfulness that you have given us an opportunity to share our opinions with you. It would be helpful to us if you are very careful as you listen to our thoughts, using only those thoughts that resonate to you and feel alive and useful. Those thoughts to which you do not respond in this way are thoughts that miss their mark, and we will ask you to leave them aside. If you will discriminate with care, that will allow us to speak freely without concern for possible infringement of your will. So we thank you for this consideration. It is easy to become involved. It is easy to become involved with the seeming chaos that occurs when one's outwardly physical concerns are not as you would wish them to be. It is easy to become defeated by your own self-doubt when things have gone awry in the outer world. It is a more mature spiritual being who is able to see underlying themes and repetitive energy expenditures that have not served as you would wish your energy expenditures to serve you. For that, we commend you, my brother. It is far easier to speak with one who sees more clearly into the ways of the self. Now, let us look at that word, self. My brother, you are aware that in your own way of thinking, all things are one. The Creator and you are the same. Yourself, therefore, at the deepest level, is the self of the Creator. Your I is the I am of the Godhead principle. Moving a bit closer to consensus reality, moving down from an infinite Creator who is a complete mystery to the half-revealed mystery of that expression of unconditional love that this instrument calls Jesus the Christ. It may be seen that you are one with the unconditional love and compassion which Jesus the Christ carried upon his human shoulders as the regal robe of kingship that was his. You also, my brothers and sisters, are royal. Each soul in the infinite reaches of the creation is. You are inheritor of apparent creatorship. So what is the self that you think that you are? It is an interesting question, for there is a part of you that is asking the question of the rest of yourself. It is interesting, my sisters and brothers, to see how the personality begins to disintegrate upon careful examination. Indeed, your culture is not oriented towards helping you to move deeper into the nature of the self. The somewhat materialistic culture of which you are a part tends to identify the self by various things about the self. Each entity chooses distinguishing characteristics which are their favorites. They can include sexuality, racial origins, types of skills, whether at work or at play, and so forth. Your culture does not have an interest in your moving deeper into who you are. It would be happy to see you define yourself by how well you are doing in the eyes of the world. There are, in your own patterns and structures of personality, favorite quirks and things about the self that feel important. It is a rich round of characteristics to examine in a contemplative fashion, looking at the nature of each quirk, what its possible origin might be, and what it shows. The way of a scar can show an injury under the skin. You spoke of using the catalyst that you are now receiving, which is trying to find a job and being concerned about taking care of your family in order to work on these areas you feel are the most significant, namely fear and pride. We're speaking now of pride. Pride is the self which is aware that the self has virtues. It is not that it is incorrect to be aware of your virtues any more than it is wrong to be completely aware of your weaknesses. However, when there is an emotional charge to the awareness of one's traits, that emotional charge creates something to defend. Your friend Eckhart commented upon this concept, saying that was characteristic of the unconscious or egoic self, that it liked to be right, and therefore it identified others as being in the wrong. Structures which include pride, no matter what the source, are structures that tend towards splintering the light and dividing the power of love into smaller and smaller fractions. It is difficult indeed for an entity that is more intelligent, more creative, and with a more mature spiritual point of view than most to avoid feelings of satisfaction at the distance traveled so far. However, often it is that times of difficulty offer the positive effect of bringing one to one's knees and making one realize that of oneself can do nothing. The humbling of a proud man is a gift that is difficult to receive. We are aware. Yet, at the same time, there are gifts at the end of the process of emptying your pretensions. One gift is that you are indeed empty, with nothing to prove and nothing to defend. In that state of emptiness, you then may ask to do the will of the one infinite Creator, to serve with love, compassion, and a far more directed will. When one does not distinguish between tasks, and when one does one's tasks with love, all tasks are equal. Pour your pride then into a new vessel and let it be transformed into the will to serve at whatever lies before you in this day. If you are able to find an exalted place of employment that stretches your creative abilities and offers you a great deal of the world supply, then do that work with absolute love and compassion. Do your best. And if fortune sends you labor that you feel is beneath you, let you can do it. And it can't pay the bills. Then find the love and the pride that you would take in that exalted work and apply it with utmost integrity to the work that lies before you to this day. Do not distinguish between kinds of work, but rather focus in all that you do on creating a poem of your love and your movements in the work of your hands, your mind, and your heart. Now, speaking of fear is a different matter, my brother. Fear is that contraction which occurs when one feels that one is at risk. Since life itself is a bad risk, ending surely in death, it is the human condition to experience fear. The universe is unfathomable and uncontrollable. Why should there not be fear within the heart of all beings who are able to watch while difficult and challenging situations occur all around them? It seems a dangerous place to be, planet Earth, does it not? And yet, fear is not greatly to be desired by the seeker of truth. What is there to fear? This instrument immediately responded to our question with thoughts of the fear of going hungry, the fear of being without four walls and a ceiling to call your own, and other fears that are concomitant to not finding a job and finding it difficult to make ends meet. These are very real and substantial fears, and yet we sense in your query a deeper fear, and that fear we can address in such a way that perhaps it affects the fears within the outer world. In truth, there is nothing to fear. You are dwelling within a certain kind of illusion, and your consciousness has created about itself a physical vehicle which moves this consciousness around. It offers a great deal of benefit to the consciousness inhabiting the physical vehicle. When something occurs that creates an unviability to the physical vehicle, your consciousness will move onward without a break. You shall continue. At heart, then, there is nothing to fear, for any circumstance, whatever is as it is, until it changes. The changes are inevitable. The only question is the timing. You shall always, in this density of choice, that is the earth world, find yourself in the process of change and transformation. If the fear that you feel is at heart, if the fear that you feel is at heart a hollow thing, it is a matter of becoming more aware of the dynamic to fear. that dynamic to fear is love. Fear and love do not coexist any more than light and dark coexist. And just like light, love cannot be killed by fear. It shines even in the most hostile environment, just as does light. Even the light of a tiny candle creates a significant glow and illumination to the eye. The love within you is waiting for you to embrace it. It is something that you can do quite consciously. However, there is a significant amount of discipline involved in availing yourself of the catalyst that is incoming at this time and using it in a positive manner. When you sense fear within yourself, do not devolve into an inner atmosphere of self-doubt and upset. Look at that fear. Intensify that fear. Become fully aware of your fear. And then ask for its opposite. Allow yourself to become aware of love. That love that flows all around you at all times. That love of the one infinite creator which is without any limit. Let that feeling of unconditional love lift you and help you to glow as if you were a lighthouse. A lighthouse of love and light that expresses through you. Feel that glow and know that it is as real and as true about you as the fear that you are carrying. You are not attempting to destroy your fear. We encourage you rather to think of it as a balancing mechanism. The human condition will always include fear, but it can, at the same time, include an equal and balancing amount of love, so that you as a being are one of 360 degrees, the light and the dark, the difficult and the easy, the sorrowful and the joyful. You can allow yourself to continue to work with these things about yourself that you feel need work. The pride, the arrogance, the fear, the concern, the awareness of risk and hazard, where you would far prefer to be competent. The details of your personality will take time to show themselves to you. We encourage you as you do this work to remember that you are the Creator. You are the Redeemer. You are all the roles of Godhead. Therefore, it is up to you to judge yourself, or to refrain from judging yourself, and to look to the purity of your intentions to access your true worth. If the voice within you condemns you, who then shall save you? Let the voice within you be a voice of encouragement, strength, and grit. Let all those deeply anxious feelings be turned into perseverance and the determination to live well. When your focus is on living well, serving in as beautiful a manner as you can, and remembering the one infinite creator in all your devotions and all of your days, you will find it less and less easy to waste time doubting yourself. For you shall be focused on the goal of serving in such a way that when you look back upon your life, you will see a poetry and the grace and the symmetry of your intentions, your thoughts, and the projections of your creativity. We would encourage you, my sisters and brothers, to bolster this work with a gift to yourself, sacred time. It is sometimes fiendishly difficult to carve out for yourself a true experience of inner silence. And yet, in whatever way is most meaningful to you, we would encourage your securing for yourself those moments to be alone with your seeking, your quest, and your hopes and dreams. Nourish and encourage yourself with silence. Whether it is the silence of nature or the silence of some form of formal meditation or whatever your choice may be, give yourself that strengthening gift, for in that silence are connections to your personal guidance system and many, many other sources of inspiration and comfort within the inner planes as well as elsewhere. We ourselves are always glad to be part of your meditation in order to strengthen your basic meditative state. You may ask for our presence by mentally requesting it. It is well to remember that while this work is extremely solitary in that it is inner and subjective, nevertheless, you are never alone. The hosts of the unseen worlds vibrate in sympathy with those who seek the love and the light of the one infinite creator. Your hopes and your seeking and your persistence draw increasing numbers of helpful souls to you. We would leave you with encouragement to believe in yourself, to have confidence in the worth of your thoughts, your being, and your dreams. You have before you a pattern that is challenging indeed. See what you can do to cooperate with that which you find before you, always pulling back for the wider view, a view that sees the curve of the earth rather than the street lamps, the trees, and the houses. You live in both worlds. The key to living in this one is to live well in your unseen world of your thoughts, your intentions, your insights, and your integrity in seeking the truth. It has been a pleasure speaking with you, my brothers and sisters. We will now take our leave of this instrument. We leave you as we found you in the love and in the light of the one infinite creator. We are those of QO. Adone, my friends. Adone Vasu.